As you heard in the video, the School Meals for All North Carolina Coalition believes every child in every public school in North Carolina should have access to breakfast and lunch at school at no cost to their families. Let me hear it. Our coalition now has partners in every county in the state. Many of them are here today, including members of the School Meals for All North Carolina leadership team. So please say hello and find out how you can get connected. Give everybody a wave, School Meals for All leadership team. Yes! We have a group of panelists here today from our statewide School Meals for All North Carolina community to share why they are committed to this movement. To moderate our panel, please welcome Forsyth County Team Leader for the School Meals for All North Carolina Ambassadors, Madison Rosenblatt.
Hi, guys. Wow, there's a lot of people. Okay. So first off, I just want to say it's such an honor to be standing in front of all of you people who are absolutely incredible at what you all do. My name is Madison Rosenblatt. I am the team leader for Forsyth County for School Meals for All North Carolina. I am currently a student at Salem College with a double major in biology and health science with a double minor in public health and nutrition. And the reason I got into School Meals for All was due to my public policy professor, Dr. Fowler, so shout out to her. She has led me to this coalition, and without her, I wouldn't be standing here today. And honestly, I just really wanted to make a change and a difference in this world. And I can guarantee you, everyone sitting in this room wants to be a part of that change. And that change is to make sure that no child goes hungry. Now, I think we introduced the panelists, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah?
Yeah,
right? Okay. Hold on, because I have no. Sorry, I have a question. They're supposed to come up here.
Panelists, please make your way up to the stage.
Okay. Hi, panelists. Good morning. So each of you represents a different part of your community. Each of you have a different perspective on School Meals for All through your work and lives. Please introduce yourself and tell us why access to school meals at no cost to families is important to you.
Okay, the person that thought this was going to be a breakout session starts first. Hi, my name is Kristen Watford, and I am a school counselor with Bertie County Schools. I serve at an elementary school, Windsor Elementary, which has about 560 students. School meals and affordable school meals, free school meals, is extremely important to me because coming from a rural area where there is economic disparity, if there were not free meals, our students wouldn't eat. You know, I have students that talk to me, we build those relationships, and they'll tell me, hey, you know, Ms. Watford, I didn't eat last night. You know, I'm hungry, my lights are out. So I'm very passionate about this because it is needed, because if students don't eat, they don't learn, they can't do anything else, you know? So very passionate, and I understand the importance of basically just having free lunch, being able to eat, to take care of the whole child.
Good morning. My name is Tawana Smallwood, and I am the School Nutrition Director for Bertie County. Yay! First off, I'd like to thank God for this opportunity to get up here and speak to every one of you about the importance of students being able to eat for free. As Kristen said, we are in a very rural area, and if these kids don't eat, they don't learn. But we had a great opportunity last year to do some things different for breakfast, and our scores went up. So thank God for that. But why it's so important for them to eat, because it takes away the stigma. We are, I'm speaking kind of fast, so slow it down. We are 100% CEP, which means every student is allowed to eat free. So we know what great gains it means for students to be able to eat free, because it makes a great deal of difference in the day. Again, it's like if they don't eat, they can't learn. They're fixated on, oh my goodness, I'm hungry, I can't function, I can't think, I can't do this, I can't do that. So that's why it's important for us to be advocates for school meals for all. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Toby Hedgepeth. I am in Guilford County. I am a parent and an advocate with School Meals for All. And I became an advocate. I tell the story one day, it was a few years ago, my son came home from school, and he said to me, he said, "Mom, you'll see a little extra money coming out of my lunch account today." And I was like, "Why, did you get some Doritos? You know, what did you do?" And he said, "No, Mom, there was a kid in my school who was embarrassed to go through the lunch line. He has $100 in school lunch debt. And every time he goes through the line, the lunch lady reminds him to tell his mom to pay his debt." And I thought to myself that day, standing there, children should not bear that weight. It is not for children to carry. And as someone myself who grew up in the public school system from kindergarten through 12th grade, and you know, I may date myself a little bit, but we used to have these green cards that we would have to carry into the lunchroom and show to get our free lunch. And there was, as Governor Stein was saying, there was so much shame associated with that. You know, so I started to advocate to hopefully help to remove that shame and that stigma that children felt when they go through the lunch line. So that is why I'm here, and that is why I love School Meals for All.
Okay, this is the fun time. We may have to come back.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the second question. So the second question states, what else do you want the audience to know about your commitment to School Meals for All and the impact that healthy meals has on our students?
I'll start. One of the reasons that Ms. Smallwood told me that she asked me to be here today was because she sees me in action. You know, she sees me in the cafeteria, she sees me sitting down, she sees me eating with the students, she sees me talking to the students. Breakfast time, lunchtime, they are two very important times of the day for me. No matter what I'm doing as a school counselor, I make it my business to get to the cafeteria. I'm going to the cafeteria, we're having conversations, you know. These students, we take for granted, these students don't sit at a table, you know, at nights or, you know, with their families to eat. This is the only opportunity that they get to sit down, have conversations, talk about their day, talk about what's going good, what's going bad, and we really are building relationships in the cafeteria. Like I said, students are telling me, you know, I didn't get a meal. I'm paying attention to the students in the cafeteria to see, you know, who little Johnny is that's asking another student for their meal, you know, because that's something you have to pay attention to because, hey, someone may need to step in and ensure that their needs are being met at home. So I just feel as though, like I said, if the kids don't get free meals, some of them aren't getting meals at all. You know, they aren't building those relationships. The children are not learning. As Ms. Smallwood said, our test scores have gone up tremendously. And that's something, you know, that I think we should all be proud of. Thank you. But yeah, it's just important. It cuts back on discipline because if little Johnny isn't eating and he's upset, he's angry, you know, he has some other things going on. So we just need to ensure, you know, hey, if I don't eat, I'm hangry, you know? So we're just ensuring, you know, that the kids are getting the food that they need to cut back on discipline problems, to cut back on behavior problems. So students aren't sitting wondering where my next meal is coming from. You know, they can be concentrating on learning, education, the things that we're teaching them. But before you can teach them, their basic needs have to be met. Food, number one. People take it for granted, but it's very important. We're sitting here, you know, we have food now, you know, that's gonna help us get through this conference, drinking, eating, you know, I saw everybody out in the lobby socializing. So the same stands for our students. The same exact thing stands for our students. Thank you.
Good question. From the school nutrition perspective, the food that we serve is nutritious. It is good tasting, and it is a priority of ours to make sure it looks appealing. And to be able to do that, you have to have funds. But we do have USDA commodity. We have the fresh fruit and vegetable programs. We have farm to school. Love farm to school. Love the fresh fruit that comes from farm to school. And you have to educate the parents, because a lot of the times when you introduce things to students they've never had before, it's like, ew, what is that? Mm-hmm. So what we are learning to do, and what we're continuing our goal to do, is educating the community and parents. And we are in a partnership with a former school nutrition director, Tremaine Salim, with the NutriPlanet. And he provides us with some awesome nutrition education that we post to our Facebook page, to our website. And we actually, shameless plug, we have a Four Corners event coming up where we will be educating the community and students on the value of nutrition and why it's important that we serve what we serve and why we serve it. Thank you.
So I'm going to invite you for just a second to think with a broader lens, because as a part of, you know, the lens that I see through is future driven. You know, we want to make sure that children have access to nutritious meals consistently, because we are also preparing them for the future. Children are the workforce of the future, right? So, you know, as we think about this, you know, when children are fed, they're able to focus. When children are fed, they're able to retain information better. These are all things that the governor mentioned a little bit ago, you know, and they're able to engage better in that learning process. So when you think about, you know, feeding children, giving them free meals, you know, it is about this immediate need, but it is also about their future success. You know, so we're setting them up for something greater. You know, and if you haven't heard it this morning, you've heard it before, that, you know, that food insecurity leads to lower academic performance. You know, it leads to higher absenteeism and behavioral issues. It leads to all of those things that can sometimes get children put out of school, where they lose access to free meals. So, you know, as we are preparing this workforce of the future, this is a part of it. And as someone who's been in human resources for 20 years, you know, 16 of those years in the UNC system, and most recently here in Chapel Hill, I understand the importance of workforce readiness. And even in kindergarten, you know, through that 12th grade year, we are preparing our children to be successful in today's and the future workforce. So, you know, just find in your hearts to remember that it's not just about this moment. It is about years from now. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna try.
Okay, I'm good.
Try.
You got it.
I think I'm good at the moment, but see, now it comes back. I'm Jan Jones, and I'm the Director of Public Policy for Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest North Carolina, the long name. We cover 18 counties in Northwest North Carolina, and we say we cover from Boone to Burlington. I'll try to go back and remember the first question but for Second Harvest, our vision statement is food secure and healthy communities. And we see School Meals for All as one of the ways to achieve that food secure and healthy community going forward. And it's just one of the tools that we have in our tool belt to fight food insecurity. So as I say, that is why this is important to us at Second Harvest Food Bank. And Andrew, I have a slide I think you're going to put up for me. Okay, and the next one. And I'm kind of in the wrong place. This is the number of children 0 to 18 who have been in households that came into our partner agencies across our 18-county service area. It starts in January of 2022, and it ends in December of 2025, January of 2025. And I've kind of put some markers in there, and again, I want to point out, this is only our emergency food pantries. This does not include the children who are coming to that go to CACFP programs after school, that go to SFSP during the summer, there's a food pantry at their school. They're not counted in this number. If they're getting a backpack program on the weekend, they're not including in the numbers that you're seeing on the board. This is only through our emergency food pantries that is showing up here on this. And as you can see, in 2022, we were still under the COVID waivers that were in place, the emergency programs that were feeding more people during that time. You can, as I say, we saw food insecurity decrease during that time. It didn't matter if it was adult, child, or senior. We saw it drop because they had more of the benefits they needed to be able to feed their families. You can see it start going up, but you can also see the impact of some of the programs that have gone into place. We see when the emergency allotments ended. We also see, and I will tell you, historically, for those who have worked in this part of the emergency food system, you know that at the beginning in November and December, we see a decrease in the number of people coming in to the food pantries, because there are more programs that are available in the community where they can access food also. So you'll see those dips around that time. When I made this PowerPoint, this slide, I went to my vice president and I said, you just look at this going up and up and up, and then what happened in November of 2024? And as soon as those words rolled out of my mouth, I instantly followed up with Hurricane Helene. That is what we saw. That number is total children across 0 to 18 across our service area of over 57,000. It drops back down because there were things put in place to help families have food during that time. So, So again, this is why when we talk about childhood hunger programs, federal nutrition programs, this is why we see them as important at the food bank, and why we were very happy to be one of the early joiners of the School Meals for All North Carolina Coalition. So,
Thank you so much, Jan. So I'll move on to our final question. There are so many different ways to get involved with School Meals for All North Carolina. You only have to start with one to add your voice and make a difference. What is one way you are involved with the coalition that you would encourage others to try?
I would say definitely attending events such as this, where you have the opportunity to learn, educate yourself. If you aren't educated on something, then you don't understand the importance. So definitely attend these type of events. Go to school, sit down with students, see it for yourself. Reach out to your representatives, reach out to your governor, reach out to your local stakeholders. You may feel a lot of people, it's cliche, my voice doesn't count, but your voice does count. Vote. It's important who you vote for. Make sure that, child nutrition is at the top of their list, Thank you.
Okay, I'm excited about this part. Get you some School Meals for All ambassadors. They are amazing. Oh my God. They have made a difference in our district. Those young people have educated their peers on things that they would not listen to me or the managers about, like the food proportions, why we have to give them what we give them. And they help with menu planning. And oh my goodness, I wish I had brought a copy of it with some of the words they gave me on the menu. I was getting congratulations and I was like, I don't even know what I put up there, but thank you. Their voices want to be heard as well, and that makes a difference in your participation. They want to feel like someone's listening to them about what they're eating. Do they have a choice in it? And we don't always have a choice in it, but we can kind of fix it up a little and take their opinions in it and give them a chance to advocate for us, which is real important, and just support each other as peers. But I would say 100% get you some School Meals for All ambassadors.
I would say, because one thing that I learned with some other organizations I'm a part of is that sometimes when you don't have an outlet, you just sit around mad. Mm-hmm. You're just mad because things aren't going the way that you think they should go. You don't have an outlet. And School Meals for All gives you an outlet, a way to address those things that are happening currently. They give you ideas on how to speak up, how to reach out to your legislature, how to do all of those things that get into to get in the presence of the people who can make the changes. So I just encourage you, they have webinars, they have online sessions, they have so much available to help you to find a way to have that outlet and not just be at home mad. Okay.
I have to give just second your shout out to the ambassadors, because Madison, I have worked with Madison now for over 6 months. She has been a joy to work with and to get to know. And she's also made it very easy for us to be a part of this in a big way, because on March 24th, Second Harvest Food Bank will be hosting the first in 2025 School Meals for All NC Town Hall. So we're going to be there, and also the steering committee. Basically, we are providing the space. They are doing everything else. So it's just, this is very easy, a very easy way to support School Meals for All NC is by get you an ambassador, and they will help you. So, yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you so much, panelists, for your time to answer these questions, and we really appreciate your insights.